Good morning, everybody. This is Lenin of Lenin Art, and let's start the demo today. And suggest my keyboard. So, play on paper. Okay, so today we will be using actually my I had some questions last week that the class was a little bit too advanced when I was teaching the advanced stuff instead of going on basic. So um, we fine. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Well, let's start with that. So, last week, what happened? I had some people asking me about what to do with I mean, like, I have to choose something and stuff. So, anyway, let's start. So, today's class is mostly for how to blend colors and how to the, how to mix colors and how to keep. I actually spoke three classes last week. It was all about the transparency. Maybe it was a little bit advanced for some people, and there's actually let me go and put the image on the screen. This is the image we will be painting, and after I finish talking about the basic stuff, if that basically this painting is I'm going to change it. Actually, it's no light in this painting, and there's some reflection. So I will show you how to make it very simple, how to render this painting in very easy way. It's no, it looks maybe for some people it looks a little bit complicated with so much stuff, and they don't know how to create the reflection in the water and the boat. They don't know how to draw boat. You don't need to know most of the stuff. I'm going to show you how to render this scene, and you can do on your own when you see, let's say, if you're somewhere and you do a plein air, you can do the same thing. Like, you don't need to exactly copy what it looks like in the picture and the reference photo. You must change it and make it easy for you and learn how to control the light, how to control the proportion, and how to compose the painting. So these are three things I always keep, like how to draw, how to keep the proportion. That is the most important thing. And then you go and once you compose it, like how to compose, like how many boats should be in the algae in the water. And you don't want to paint the algae, otherwise they would look like a grass. So those are the small things you should know before you start. And it will come, honestly, if you go you do more and more, it will come automatically. You don't need to focus more, stress yourself. So it will come as you paint, and you will see that if you put the green stuff on the foreground, that algae, and it will become a grass. Then you will be saying that to yourself, hey, this is a looks like a grass to me, it's not a doesn't look like that. You try to avoid those things. You don't paint those things. If your audience gets confused, you are getting confused with those small things. Just please don't paint it because it makes some it it translates something else to other people. Although you know that it's a gene or whatever. If you show someone, you will see as a glass or and then a piece of it. From there. Okay, so I draw a composition, make sure the composition is good. Then you go control the light, how to, where the light is coming from in this reference photo. Sorry, this reference photo is not the best. It's just copy from the other software. So but you don't need to worry about the quality. So second thing is how to control the light. Just watch this surface photo. It's uh, very soft light in there. There's no hot light because it's when I take the picture, took a picture like what time was that? It was like twilight, like the sun was down and overcast sky, and yeah. So there's not enough light in there. There's a soft light in there. There's no harsh light there. So and the third thing is, then once you apply the light on it, how to get the texture, how to control, how much contrast you need. That would be another subject I'm going to talk about. It. How to create the contrast, and how to make it look more vibrant. So let me remove this here. And we go. I'll show you actually the basic, basic. Steps in how to write a brush. And I will show you some other stuff on the way if I have time. So here I got my nice, I have a 90-pound paper, Fabriano 90-pound paper, Artistico extra white. Always, we don't use synthetic paper. Synthetic paper make you confused and it won't absorb the color as the 100% cotton. This is a cold press, 100% cotton, rough surface. I wish I could show you what it looks like from the side, but if you feel it, if you feel the paper, it has a rough texture on it. It's not a hot press. It's not a smooth surface. So if you have a question, I terms that I use in the video, please let me know because sometimes I just use the term because I just get so used to it using those terms. So here I put some water. There's two ways. You put some water on the paper, get any color. Any color. You don't need to pick up a red color or blue color. Just any color would be fine. So you put some red color, right? Let me go more focus on this one. Exactly. Like I have loaded my brush with the cadmium red. Put it here. See how the wash is working. Basically, all you have to do just push the pigment here and there. And moreover, if you want to go, you can tilt the paper, and then the wash will travel as far as where the water is on the paper, right? So see that nice gradient wash building up. So if I put more cadmium red on the top, let's go a little bit here where the dry surface. And I'll show you one or few more things before we start the demo of that picnic beach. Okay, so there you go. Now, if I go clean my brush, I clean my brush thoroughly with the water, and now there's no pigment, just so except the water. So if I put this and drag the brush along the edge of the wash, that this will travel. This will travel and slowly build up a nice gradient, which you can see there. So now the problem is another problem. I would say that is a problem. But if you touch here now, is the wash is kind of drying, right? So if you touch here, that would be a little bit challenge for you because what happened? It makes a little bit cauliflower. So if I let's put some water here. Look at this. The cauliflower built right away because the wash is halfway is dry. In Toronto right now is kind of is a little bit dry and in it's warm weather, so I don't have the air conditioner running in the so what happened? The wash dry faster. So as soon as I put a little bit water and build up the cauliflower. So make sure when you working on these and you don't need the cauliflower on your painting, so don't be careful. Don't drop any droplets or accidentally put your brush on the wash that you on the so let's get the I'm gonna pick up a Prussian blue, mix it up in my palette, and now I will put some Prussian blue on the bottom. What happened? The red when the Prussian blue mixed with the red, it will create a little bit purple color. So which I don't need the purple color. I will keep the purple color. I just want to blend. You will see once you blend this color into the red, it will form some kind of, it change the consistency of the Prussian blue and it will become a little bit purple color. So that's what how you blend the color, two colors. Uh, If I go further, if I put some water here, then it will be a challenge for me because it will start making some color. So if I put more Prussian blue here on the edge of the wash, so there. Now it's blending by itself. I'm not pushing anything. I'm not forcing the Prussian blue to mix with the cadmium red. All you have to do, just put cadmium red like this. Let's say if you're making a painting or something, right? Just put some cadmium red or any other color that you use. And let's pick up some cadmium orange. I will put a cadmium orange on the edge of the like I did with the water, right? I made the gradient wash. So here it blends in, and I will push that cadmium orange more down. So this is blend very good now. Look at this. I left some dry brush mark because I didn't wet the paper, right? So it when you're working on the dry surface, you will see if you're not pushing your brush too hard on the paper, it will create some dry brush marks, which is fine. You know, sometimes you need the dry brush marks also, right? So you can use it for a white spot for later use, right? Now let's blend some more color. Let's push this away and you just work it out. This color. Okay, let's mix cadmium yellow and some cadmium yellow here. try try to practice this right on your own. And what happened? Mix colors. Like if I put a Prussian blue underneath of this cadmium yellow, and it will blend into the green, the yellow, and it forms a green color. That's how you know you're practicing basically the two things in one time, blending the color and mixing the color at the same time on your paper, and that will you know you improve your skill how to work wet into wet on the paper, straight on the paper. You don't want to wait for the one wash to be dry, then you put another wash on the top. So here, so that's how you mix color, the blend color, right? And when you're working into wet. That's the only time you can mix color on the paper itself. If you are let's say you said no, I don't want to mix colors on the paper, then you just mix colors on the palette and work on the layers. Put one layer, let the one layer dry, then you put another layer. That's how you work. So mix colors in the palette. If you don't like to mix color in the palette and you want a like a nice like different colors and mix it up on a palette itself, then you can do that way too. But if you this basically this technique is mostly used on if you're working on the red interior, or you can do like a gradient. You can mix color. Let's say if you are making a painting, which let me just do quick demo, a small painting. If I put a yellow here, cadmium yellow, right? Let's get some cadmium orange. Put it on the top. Let it mix. Right. Then I will go keep that white on the paper. Bring it down that wash by mixing some clean water, and I will bring it down. So when you're working on the light wash, you don't need to worry about. You can go all over the canvas unless, otherwise, if you want to put a like white, if you want to keep some white on the paper, then you will. You have to be a little bit careful. But what happens if you put in the white? Uh, you don't need to worry about the white, then you can go all the way down, right? And let me use the dryer because you don't have time. You know, like to use dryer and not painting, but since we are class and we have a limited time, so let's use the dryer. And I will dry the other washing also. Okay, that's it. Yes. Now I will go and get some Payne's Gray, or you can get it, mix it up with the burnt sienna, put some cobalt blue or ultramarine blue, mix your own grays. That will be much better. You can control your own colors. You don't need to worry about the one color. Then you put some water and change the consistency of the other color. Let me zoom out. What's it saying? Uh, yeah. Okay, so see that I put a wash here. Now I can make anything from here. I can make a small painting with my dagger brush, right? Here, some fills here, and then I will pick up some burnt sienna, mix it up with the cadmium yellow, so I get a nice. Here I get a yellow ochre, so and I will put some yellow ochre in the foreground. Depends what you are planning to do. I mean, like if you this painting you wanna get it like a little bit seascape or something, you can just go and put some hills here, and you can just create some other type of painting. So it's all up to you. I could put some trees here. Let's get some Payne's Gray straight from the tube, and I can make some trees here like this quickly. And clean the brush make the trees more lighter, change the consistency of the paint gray. So it feels like the trees are farther away. It's not as close as these trees because these trees are more closer to you. It's somewhere in the midground. And these trees are kind of away, right? So that's how you tell that how far create the atmospheric perspective, you know. So here, let's use some purple color. So let's see. I have a nice Van Gogh purple dusk or something. This color is so beautiful. So here, there you go. So that painting is ready, right? All you need to practice, put cadmium orange, put some cadmium yellow, put on all the canvas, right? And then you put some cadmium orange while the cadmium yellow washes is still fresh, it's not dry yet. Then you put cadmium orange, right? And let it blend in. And once I use the dryer. Once it's dry, then you put more washes, more doodling or sketching, whatever you call, with the brush basically. And then you get what are you looking for. If I put a little bit more dark Payne's gray on this midground, it creates more depth into your painting. Just vaguely put it. You don't need to be very, precise or whatever. You know, put a little bit here. Because watercolor has a tendency, when it's dry, it gets lighter. So that is the very simple painting. And let me just zoom in so you guys know right here. There we go. So sun is there. I preserve the transparency, the white of the paper. I put some cadmium yellow first, then I put some cadmium orange, and then I use the gray mix with my burnt sienna and ultramarine, or you can use cobalt blue. You can use French ultramarine. They give you a nice gray color, which you can use in your painting. So this is how you blend color, right? And again, keep the transparency of the paper by keeping the white of the paper. Basically, the white of the paper is the first layer. When you are working on a layer, right? So I put a cadmium yellow, a cadmium orange, then I put some yellow ochre, paint gray, I sketch these three, and then I put some cadmium yellow ochre. Basically, you're building up the layers, right? So you're working on the layer. Although you are blending colors right on the paper also, but it is still you working in the layers. So one layer upon, and the white of the paper is the first layer. Okay, let's do quickly another. I just wanna bring something, another thing that which a lot of people get confused. We're gonna pick up some green color from my palette mixed up with the Prussian blue, so I can get a nice, beautiful green color. So some people I see when they make the leaves, right? The leaves, I don't know why it becomes so challenged, right? Now I have the dragger brush, right? Beautiful dragger brush has a nice point. So what I can do, you go put one there, and then you go put another one here. Bring it out. That you have to make the brush work for you. So you go and join this. There you go. So, and the middle body, you don't need to worry about that. I purposely left it because I want to create some depth into the leaf. Now, other way around, let's just put more paste gray in it, change the consistency of the green. Now, I can go with the tip of the brush, quickly put the tip of the brush, create the impression of the leaf. And what I can do, I can clean my brush, very clean, and you just put a little bit, lift the colors out of the, the leaf, and then you have a nice texture build up the depth into your leaf. Just put some more color. There. And let's treat this a little bit more. And then you go get a little bit from sienna or mix it up with the any other color like blue, French ultramarine, or the gold blue gets a gray color, and then you do the stem of these. If you want, you can put some in the leaf itself. So this is practice this, right? Just put. You don't need to pick up a green color, right? Just practice this quickly, and the other one is I was going to explain that if the leaf is turning, let's say the leaf is there, right? You go and then you put some dark value on the leaf so it will show that the leaf is twisted. And then you go put some. Let's put some green color so it show that the leaf. Otherwise, color I put a green color so it doesn't feel like. So this is you have to practice, and try to achieve that very, like you don't need to work really hard. You just find that watercolor works by itself, right? If you push too much watercolor, then it goes get muddy and it get a little bit trouble for you. So make sure that you are not pushing too much that watercolor. See, I'm trying to put some dark color here, creating some depth into this. So if I do too much, then it will go out of control, and then it's very hard for me to go back and fix it. Unless otherwise, if this uh, uh, if this wash is still alive, it's still wet, then you can clean it up, and then you can just go and create some edit more. Put another leaf here says we are dealing with the leaf today. A little bit, I just want to bring it to you guys because I see a challenge in other people. So I put some cadmium yellow and I put some Prussian blue. So I'm mixing colors right on the paper. That is the very good example how to blend colors right on the paper, not on your phone. So here, let's put some more. Maybe I use cadmium yellow, bright cadmium yellow, give it a little more rich look. There you go. So very easy, but you have to understand how to control the light, how to blend the colors on the paper itself, and what is the proportion. Like amount of water in your brush, or how to uh, create the depth in your painting. Let me go a little bit. There you go. So I don't want to do too much here because today's class is not for this. It's mostly for the blending. Let me go zoom out. There you go. So blending colors, right? Make a gradient uh, right on the paper. Small paintings. Maybe this painting can be done in other colors also. Just pick up a paint spray, put it here on the canvas like that. Bring it down. Just get some white, like clean water. Bring it down, bring it down. Put some more paint spray if you need more contrast. Uh, like I said initially, this class is for how to make your watercolor more vibrant. So what you just use a very undiluted watercolor. I mean the pigment. So if you put more water in it, the painting will look more paler, and then you don't have that contrast. So controlling the light and using a very sharp pigment can vibrate your painting, but mostly it's the uh, what do you call that? Control the light. Basically, the controlling the light on the painting is the most important. Here, do this like here, right? So I'm gonna dry this quickly. Just dry, dry, dry. Okay, so what I want to do too much. Let's grab a smaller brush because this brush is so I'm gonna have my smaller dagger brush, same brush, but different size. I think that this is a quarter. This is not sure like a 6 or something. I will put down in the description what are the sizes because I use so much on that the printing is gone. Let me show you. So I don't even know what is this. So you guys can read it. Anyway, let's take the demo and the rest of the class. So now I'm going to use this smaller dagger brush. I just gonna get some mix from the previous mixes. Now you start putting the trees again. Same thing, same painting, but different color, different atmosphere, different section, right? Yeah. The tree here, this side. Another one. Now change the consistency because these are farther away, so we need to go a little bit more lighter because otherwise they will feel like they are standing side by side. So I will just go clean my brush, very light gray color in my brush, so I'm just going to use this. And let's put some dark value color or value whatever each of these trees. Okay. Now see that if I'm controlling the light, right? This is a good example how to create more contrast, more the painting look like more, have more contrast, more vibrant. So if you don't like that type of painting, that's fine. You can go and keep the painting softer as possible. If you don't like that very sharp and more contrast. Okay, just avoid this. And I will go get some porcelain. It's very straight from the and I will put something here, this painting also. Maybe put it here. Let me just go closer look so you can see what I did actually. Go to the so there you go. So that is the one painting, right? With very less effort, uh, no drying required, a simple wash, gradient wash, only one color used. I use the Page Gray, and I mix it up my gray too with the burnt sienna, and I use I think I use cobalt blue. You can use cobalt blue, you can use French ultramarine, you can use ultramarine also to mix your grays. And this is the one I did with the few colors, cadmium orange, cadmium yellow, and again yellow ochre a little bit, and the page. So that's how you create more and more painting in very short amount of time and learn the the blending, the color, the gradient, all this unconsciously basically when you're building that type of painting, small painting that you are learning how to mix color, how to blend colors, how to make a gradient, how to keep the washes, more softer, harder. That's how all these things basically in these small paintings often, instead of going and creating a more complicated painting. So I will just keep this simple, small painting like that. Maybe you see my palm is almost like under my palm. So and create more and more and more on one paper, right? And maybe create like six of them with the different colors, with different mood. Make this mood maybe here, put it here, there. So change the composition. Okay, that's good. Let's go to that painting which I was gonna do. And let's do here. Very good. Okay, so where's our reference for? So add this up. Over here. This, this page. A good all of the way because right from yeah, there you go. Now, if you want, you can put a line here, the horizon line. You can do that, or you don't want to do that. That's fine. I will pick up some gray color. It's in my palette, which is I previously mixed. I'm going to use those both dagger brushes. That's the only brushes I will use in this demo. And because it's a very small painting, actually next week I will do a bigger painting which is 22 by 15, 15 by 22. And then I will show you my mouth brushes, which is right here. Let me just move through this quickly. So these are the brushes I have. You can see that the squirrel, this is the bigger size of the dagger brush, another bigger size. There's the mop brushes swirl, and there's a Kolinsky sable. I will explain everything in the next class. Actually, I have the army of the brushes here, and I will explain the using. And I will use these brushes and show you how to use all of these brushes. Mostly, not all of it. I will show you. So let's get this out of here. Let's start the painting. Now I have the gray color, French ultramarine, put some Payne's gray, burnt sienna. I got a nice gray mix, and I didn't wet the paper because it's such a small painting, right? And you can wet it if you want. You need some more softer type of washes. You can. It's no problem. You can just put some water on it. Where is that? The baby very good. Some, yeah, let's put some gray color here. And I will put some gray color here. on the horizon line, a little bit here. Some water, again, create some soft edges here. I'm leaving this white purposely. I don't need to block everything. Let's put some more Queen's Gray, get some French ultramarine, put some on the little bit here and there. So it create a little drama on the style. And I will pick up some pink color and I will put very light pink. You don't need to do very because there's this reference has a very nice pink color on the horizon because it's a twilight, right? So yeah, it is. Oh, no. Here, put some pink color here. Blend in, blend it properly. Otherwise, it will create some hard edges and very good. You don't want to keep it's okay. I mean, like if you want to keep it hard, that's fine too. You know, but if you make it the type of painting you're working on, right, is more soft, very less light on this painting. So I will just go keep it soft as possible. Let's do this, and let's go here. Now this algae, I'm not worried about. So I will put some yellow ochre mixed with my burnt sienna, with my mix of gray, and then I will put some red into it because I put some water here, so I will just create some boulders or something here, create some creek here. Although there's a creek here, but it doesn't show in the reference photo, but I will make a creek here. So now the first wash is mostly done. I will lift some color because it's getting too much into the water, which I don't need it, right? I don't we don't need the really prominent type of filter. So here, now let me zoom in actually. This is too much distraction. I think see exactly. There you go. So initial washes are almost done, and what I will do, I will get some Payne's grain. As you can see in the mid, on the horizon line, there's some trees or something there. I don't know exactly. You know what? Let's try the painting a little bit. Okay, I can try that. So let's get some gray color, and I will start putting here on the horizon line a little bit, not too much. Vaguely, you don't need to be very precise here. Just go. You have to be a little bit careful here because there's some boats here, right? I will be a little bit careful because I need the white space, right, for the boat. So I'm gonna put some, let's make some glass. Like the boat, some boats are here too. This body composition, quite a okay. It is done. Now I will work on the on the boat. So because we don't have enough time and very short amount of time. Now I will work on the boat and get some gray color and start putting the boats here. One boat really have massive of gold. Let's put this guy a little bit more. This make it a little bit shorter. You don't want to go too long or equal, and otherwise it will boring. So let's get some little bit gray color. Now see that I build the board and I put the dark color around it, so I get my board here, the white board. So that's how you use the white of the paper. Same thing, I will go and create the reflection in the water just by preserving the white of the paper there and here. There you go. So black in between of the board here, another board here, maybe another board here, create some more here, that dark, and then the white of the board is right here. And then you can go do the mask later on. I'll show you actually quickly. And now I will go for some dark value here, make more, build some more contrast in your painting. Put some underneath the boat where the boats are sitting in the water, create some more dark value so it shows that they are in the water and the best light is exposed to that light. So the light is not going enough light there, so now I got most of it done, right? Now what I will do, get some little bit red color which was in my previous mix, put on a board, maybe put a number or something, get some Canadian red, and maybe put a flag here, line here on the board. And the same line will be reflection in the water. Okay. Some Prussian blue, Prussian blue, create some streaks underwater. Like just drag your brush on the dry paper and create some nice streaks on the water, like that. You don't need to work very hard, right? You just go very slow, very gently drag your brush on the dry surface, very less pigment I have, very less water. That's what how you create a very soft painting. If I want, I can go get some more paint, Prussian blue, which is a very sweet blue, and I can put my brush here. I can bring more color to this water, but we are not here for that, right? So we don't need that harsh color in our painting. So it's very soft, very gentle type of painting. So I will keep it simple as possible. Let's spread this Prussian blue because the Prussian blue is more like a staining color. So if I leave Prussian blue here for too long, then it's very hard for me to fix that problem. It's very hard for you to lift it, basically. I would say that. Let's put some paint, burnt sienna, get some French ultramarine, get a mix, and then I will put on these borders, big borders. Let's put some clean water and let it smudge and create some texture. And I'm going to use some straight, the French ultramarine, change the consistency of the brown color, get some nice blue color here. French ultramarine is the best color. It's very transparent. And this one here, there you go. I put that a little bit edge of the boulders into the water and some water creeping here and it gets here, the color here. So I can put a little bit Persian blue and bring some energy to this portion of the painting like that. I will put some water here. I want to make sure it's soft. So let's get some more Prussian blue and do this here. Not too much. If you do too much, then the painting will go a little bit challenge for you. So you have to be careful. Let's put some more dark haze gray here on the horizon line. I mean, will contrast to these trees, and then put some wood masses. So, not too many. I will show them. And these are yachts, so I'm gonna do some more sketching here. Some groups. Very gently create that. If you have too much water, then it's very hard for you to create that type of water. So you make sure that you don't have enough water. I mean, if it is too much water in your brush, then it's very hard for you to create. I explained this in the previous class that how to keep this under control. Okay, so go to the painting done. Let's do some more photo from Louis and maybe Persiana. Put here so it will create some more contrast. Let's put some underneath the brush. And then the blue here something that's high. Put it out. Yeah. You don't need to sketch. Like I did, I put some dark value, I sketched it with my brush, and I did the reflection in the water against white of the boat, and I left some white on the paper. But just by surrounding this dark color around it, and I create a small bird here. So you can tell that nice uh, beautiful washing up here in the sky. I have a pink color, blends in perfectly. It's like it's so good right now. And I didn't do nothing. Actually, I put some water. That's how you achieve a soft and blended washing by applying a water on the paper. And please use a decent 100% cotton paper so that's how you achieve all these washes. If you're using a synthetic you know, paper which doesn't absorb too much color or the water, then you will be chilling. When you, well, let's say if I put a water here, right? I want to warm it up, so I put some water and I bring some cadmium orange and I will put some cadmium orange. So what happened? It brightened up, right? I see that now. It just we cannot do this on a synthetic paper. It's really hard for you to achieve that type of the washes on the synthetic paper. And I can see that I can still smudge it. I can just delete that portion of the ridge or border. It's getting water. But on the synthetic paper, it's not going to work like that. So be careful when you're using a synthetic paper. You have to be very careful how many you use the synthetic paper sometimes, unless I really need to. Now let's do some sequence on the printing with the same dagger brush. I'm using two brushes, one this size dagger brush and the other one. This is what I did the whole thing today with these two brushes. So you don't need to have another mop brush because these are small painting, right? Like, it doesn't require a lot of your attention. So and learn how to blend colors, how to mix colors, how to mix right on the paper. So some secrets here, so one, let's put one here. thing is very important. If you put too many birds on the sky, it will not gonna look good. If you put one, you, you know, if again, just put a decent amount, like 3, 4, and you need to go everywhere on the sky, not just find one formation, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, I think I don't want to touch this painting more and more. So painting is done. I can go, I can just do some work here with my nano brush, which I don't want it, but still. And now you can do, I can grab my poster color, which is a white color, right? And I can create some more boats here, right? And so I just to show you what can be done in these type of painting. Let's say if you forgot something, you can just put a boat here with a white here. Yeah, that's vaguely, you don't need to explain, like, just it shows that there is a, because, let's go, let's do some streets also. Very hectic in streets if you get hooked to it. And then put some, since I have it on my brush, right, it shows how to create a background. Let's create here. See that if I bring this streaks here in this, it will create a nice like a water effect, right? Like that. And okay, let's do something here. I will put a seed here. There's some water in my brush because it's kind of dry. Just going out of the demo, I just want to show you what you can create with these type of washes. When you finish, you can take it. There you go. Yeah. Now I can go with some cadmium yellow and put a little bit sun here, right? Maybe a little more, and put some white here. Just drop the white. You don't need to struggle or whatever. It works by itself. So, and I will go get some Payne's Gray out of my palette, which is the tree. I don't want to paint and waste it. There's some more Payne's Gray layer, another layer on the right. So that's how you create a small painting. One more thing. Just put a little bit dark value underneath the base so it creates more depth and it looks more realistic. There you go. Again, I start with the simple washes, right? And but you can make it more interesting. Uh, just a few washes, Persian blue, or can be red. I put a yellow mark, put a little bit white, and I draw some seagulls, and there you go. That's a small painting. You go a little bit larger scale, frame it, and put it in your house. It looks beautiful. Now this is the today's painting. Let me zoom in. Let me just turn this on. The photo, first photo. There you go. This is the very simple and very soft painting. Zoom in actually. There you go. So this is, let me discuss it quickly and then we'll shut the class. I like that. Okay, so So here I put some washes here, some Prussian blue, I don't know, I don't remember, it was a French or blue. And then I put some pink wash on the horizon because it's a twilight, it's evening time, there's no sun. Unless you want to put a sun, you can put a sun. I can create a sun, you just go, put some white color, get a really uh, white color, and you can just put white here, right? And then you can go get some clean your brush very thoroughly because this will create some problem. And then I can put some, there you go, there's a sun here. And then you create the same thing in the water also, the reflection of this sun, like that. Let's get some Caribbean yellow, just to put on the top of this one, and it create a nice reflection in the water. The other thing is you can do, I can bring another layer and keep this more contrast around this sun. Not too much, otherwise painting will be a problem. So here, get some more gray, go around it a little bit more, so it will show. There you go. That's how you change your painting, you know, like very, very small things here and there, and your painting will change. So just keep in mind, but don't do too much, otherwise it will show. So you don't want to go overboard, you don't want to go too much. Keep it simple as possible. Prussian blue, or I think French ultramarine, some pink color, rose madder, and I put some paste gray. I mix my some of the grays here uh, for the horizon line. I put some hills or trees or whatever. Then I put some boulders on the foreground, and then I create dark color around these boats, so it creates that there's a boat in there in the water, and then I create some reflection in the water for the vessels here for the sail, and like that, and then I put some boats here with the white paint, put some vessels here on the boat, so it shows composition. You want to put some boats here and there's no boats here. So you can do that. You can keep the boats here. You don't need to keep the boats here. That's fine. And then I change the paint. Lastly, I just put a white, opaque white, coastal white, and I put it there on the sky. Then I put a dab of cadmium yellow, put some gray mix from my previous mixes, and make that sun or whatever just more visible by just surrounding with the dark layer, and then I create some reflection in the wall. So this is simple and very easy technique to render if you know how to blend colors, how to keep the control, the proportion, the composition, and the length. That's all it is. Four things: composition, no, sorry, drawing, like how to keep the proportion, then you how to compose it, then you how to blend colors, and then the most important thing is how to control the light. Basically, the contrast, the vibrancy in your painting just because of the light. If I put more dark value here underneath, beside the board, that board will more lit up because it's already white, right? So same thing here. If I put more dark color on the surrounded with the sun will look more brighter. That's how you control the contrast in your painting. Putting dark value, light value, dark value, so it will get more. But this painting, like I said, is very soft, and I don't want to go for too hard, too dark values here to unbalance the painting. So here we have dark value here, dark value here, almost same dark values, right? Dark value here, dark value, all them same. I didn't put very dark right here and light right here. So you make sure it's balanced. The colors are not too shocking, not too very light. So it's a very balanced painting, right? In the color wise, in the value wise, and the composition wise. So it's soft and very gentle. Okay, so I will finish the class. Basically, next class, I will do a bigger demo into, like I said, 15 by 22 sheet, which is half of 22 by 30. You can get those sheets, which is I'm using today. I go buy 22 by 30 sheet, cut it into four pieces. That gives you smaller pieces, or you cut it in half, and then you get a 15 by 22 size, which is a decent size for doing a watercolor. Again, if you're doing a bigger painting, consider getting 120 pound paper or maybe a 400 pound paper because if you put in too much water, it will buckle off. As you can see, this will buckle off too, right? I can feel it because I think it's 120 pound paper. So even though I did put too much water, but it still buckled off, right? So be careful. Anyway, let's stop here. Let me end this screen and I will see you next week with a bigger painting and more tricks and techniques in watercolor. Okay, so have a very good weekend. And Toronto, we have the sun is out, beautiful weather. I'm gonna go up and after the class 2 days. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next week. You take care.